What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is just a reminder for everybody that no one knows what they're doing. Nobody has a fucking clue what's happening. So, as those of you who have seen my YouTube channel, you know that it's sort of a spiritual YouTube channel. And the idea is to help people who are going through some type of spiritual awakening or who have a awareness of things on a deeper level, right? I mean, I've never wanted to alienate anybody by talking about one thing in particular or talking about a concept that other people have a hard time dealing with. I've always wanted the information to be universal and applicable to all people, right? So I tend not to focus on one thing in particular, right? But there's a certain level of listening and understanding, and there's a little bit of wisdom, and there's always me trying to share what I think might help other people. But it would be good to just remind everybody that, like you, I also have no idea what is happening. Life in the spiritual awakening or the spiritual process, it's messy, it's ridiculous. You try to get what you want. Sometimes you do, you're not happy. Sometimes you don't. You're happy or you're not happy. There's all these emotions that we don't know how to handle, that we don't know what to do with. And the more that you go through the spiritual awakening, and for me, it's been 5 years or so, a little bit more, the more emotions that you discover and uncover. And the more you do that, the more that they come up, the more that you see them, the more that you feel them, the more that you are in pain, the more you suffer. And the things that happen in your life, the moments where it's just you, those are difficult. I don't know as much as Eckhart Tolle or whoever else is popular. I don't know or care really. Maybe I know more than some other people, but the point is ultimately with twin flames, tarot readings, soulmates, spirit guides, angels, all of that shit, it doesn't do it for me, It doesn't do it for me. Maybe it does it for you. But what I mean by that is ultimately at the end of the day, whatever cycle I'm in, whatever I find myself doing, there is no clear-cut answer that I have found, I haven't discovered some amazing secret that has completely made me some balanced Zen-like Buddhist, right? And I haven't really come across anybody that has, and you should be careful of the people who claim to be like that, because they're usually cult leaders, as it turns out. I'm just a guy in a sweater and some hair talking to you. But ultimately, the amount, whatever wisdom I have for you, it pales in comparison to the amount of wisdom I don't have for you, right? I mean, I'm just as confused as anybody. I, ended this relationship months ago or whatever that was really important to me and to my life and my growth, in order to find things, because I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't understand what the hell was happening within my body, all these feelings, these emotions. And I don't know anything. I'm not any better, right? My job, which is a great job, only really exists from April to November, maybe, really is the bulk of it. But during the winter time, January and February and December, there's almost really nothing to do. And just the boredom and the lack of money, oh my God, the lack of money that I have been experiencing is such a difficult thing, because they help distract against the underlying emotions, which now are just here everywhere. And then I see my life and I think, well, things aren't working out the way I wanted them, despite the amount of effort that I've put into trying to fix things. Nothing has worked out the last few months. It's because the emotions. There's just so many goddamn emotions. And like you, I too have emotions. As it turns out, I'm a messy human being, and we all really are. We're all rather useless. The amount of information that we have that might be able to help us is temporary. Now, you might really resonate with twin flames or soulmates or past lives or divination methods like tarot readings, things like that. But when you put your head on the pillow at the end of the day and you feel that pit, that loneliness, that depression, that sadness, that confusion, that disillusionment, whatever emotion that is, it's there. It has nothing to do with the things that might temporarily make you feel better. completely separate. You have your emotions. And the point of this spiritual awakening, the point of your life, is to understand yourself. That is the point, in my opinion, right? Is to truly understand who you are, right? Because it's not guaranteed. You owe it to yourself to try and understand who you are the best of your ability, because one day, you could die. And people do die all the time, even before they've ever gotten to a point where they can even think these types of thoughts, right? Babies die. Other people die, not just babies, but other people. All kinds of people die all the time in different situations, and nobody's guaranteed a lengthy life, a healthy life, a happy life. No one's guaranteed anything. And everybody who goes through a spiritual awakening believes that they are special. But the only thing that makes you special is your awareness. And that awareness simply means you're going to suffer more. And you're going to go through more things, and you're going to have opinions and emotions that are more complicated and different than the average person. And if you think that makes you special, then I suppose you're special. But it's not special enough. You don't have superpowers. And you can't just make yourself rich overnight, and you can't solve the world's problems, and you can't feel better overnight either. And all the things that you're going through, that you've ever gone through, the parents that you have, the emotions that you've been through, the things that you've experienced, your past, your history, your feelings, it's all there. It exists within you right now. Even if you don't necessarily feel bad or anything, it's there. And the amount of shit that I try to do to get away from those things, even positive things, making music, writing an article, writing poetry, exercising, doing a video like this, it won't go away, And it's not to say that doing things are bad. It's just the things that you experience, that you have to deal with, are always going to be there. You hope that it's a different form, but ultimately sadness is not going to go away. Neither is pain. And boredom, my worst enemy, still exists. It's still there for you to do something with. And if you don't want to do anything with it, then you're just going to keep going through the same cycles. And the more that I try to fix things, the more that I've tried to make my life better, ironically, it doesn't work. Ironically, like, the less I actually get out of it. It seems to me on rare occasions that when I do less, when I just focus on feeling rather than thinking or doing, things kind of take care of themselves. And I do find opportunities, right? It doesn't mean that I don't literally have to do something, but rather than force myself to do something, I sit back and allow things to come in, and then I do something, right? That is kind of how I've noticed things actually work out for me, maybe for you. But the point of this video is really, you are useless. I'm useless. Everybody does and can be useless. Everybody does feel useless. Everybody feels lost and alone, and you should, because there's not actually a book that says you should know what to do. It's life. Like I said, people die before they ever get a chance to experience many, many things. So are you lucky to be here? Maybe. Are you unlucky to feel all the things that you're feeling? Maybe. But you're here, and that's all you have. The only thing you can do is understand it. And ultimately, you shouldn't compare yourself to me, to other people. Nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody knows what's happening. I don't know what's happening. Everybody has their own life to figure out. Everybody has their own things to do. I hope that I can help people with my videos. I don't know how many people watch these videos. I don't do this consistently, and I don't give a shit about marketing, so who knows how many of you watch. But there is an element to these videos where I do try to help people, but keep in mind that I suffer just like other people suffer. I have worries, financial worries, personal worries, health worries. I have just as many things to go through it as many, many other people on the planet. And the only thing that I try to do is take my shitty, painful experiences and to relate them back to other people in an effort that maybe not so much for you to go, oh, wow, great wisdom, I can fix my life because of what this guy with the hair said. No, not so much about that. More listening to the information and going, I'm not alone, right? This guy, he also knows what I'm going through, right? So I don't want people to watch my videos and think that I'm some master or guru or that I have things figured out. I don't have things figured out. right? Right now, my life sucks. I hate my life. It's so fucking boring. Oh my God, it's so boring. I don't like. Do you know how much fucking time exists? There's so much time. There's an insane amount of time. Like you can spend your whole day doing a shit ton of things. You can exercise, you can get up early, you can stretch, you can make a YouTube video, you can write, you can make music. And then it's like 3 o'clock and you're like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do for the rest of the day? And then, you're bored and you have emotional issues. So what? You eat, you watch Netflix, you watch porn, you smoke weed. Everybody has their own different shit. Some people do harder drugs. Some people just read books all day. I mean, that's escapism too. I mean, the point is, my life's not great right now. It's not. It's not amazing. I still have wisdom. I still have some value, I suppose. I don't think I should just go jump off a bridge. I mean, I could. There's not really any bridges nearby, though, and it's winter outside. I'm not too into jumping off a bridge in the cold. I'd have to get all dressed and stuff. Wouldn't that be kind of weird? You're going to commit suicide and you put on all your clothes, winter clothes and stuff? No, I'm okay. I don't need to do that. So really, there is difficulties in my life, but I'm still here. You're still here. Whatever difficulties you have, it's up to you to listen to them, to discover them, to have a relationship with them. Because that's the point. The point is to formulate that relationship and do something with yourself, with your real self. Find out who it is, discover it. Because nobody knows what they're talking about. Only you will have the potential to know what you're talking about, but only about yourself, because everybody else, you won't have a clue.